How's it going, guys, and welcome back. In this video we're going to be checking out where we can get all 7 of the unique Orichalcum Plus items that we need to forge the Ultima Blade. As you may have heard, the only use of the Orichalcum Plus is to forge the Ultima Blade itself, so don't worry about using it somewhere else, but we will need all 7 of them if we want to forge it. So let's just jump straight into it, starting off by the 2 easiest ones, the ones we can pick up just straight out of chest without anything confusing. The first one is going to be in the Caribbean world. We want to go to Exile Island, which is the one just here, this small little island on almost the center of the map, a little bit off to the west. And on the center of this island, we're going to find a chest, and inside that chest, we're going to find the first of our Orichalcum Pluses. The second one we can also find in a chest just sitting here. It's the only chest inside the final world area. To get there, if you didn't pick it up on your first visit there, if you're in post-game, you can go back to the Keyblade graveyard, backtrack from the Badlands checkpoint, and use the red Battlegate, and this will return us back to the final world where we can see the chest to pick up the second Orichalcum Plus. The third Orichalcum Plus, unfortunately, is not quite as simple. What we need to do for this one is get the high score on all of the Flantastic 7 minigames. These are the fruit flans that are hidden around the world. We have to do a different type of sort of minigame on each one of them, and you need to beat the high score, which is normally about 15 to 20,000, some 25,000, depending on which minigame it is. Most of them are relatively simple. We do have a separate video, which I'll leave in the description, of where each of the flans are located, as it would probably take too much time to go into detail of where each of the flans are in this specific video. But if you want to check that out, if you're having trouble finding those, but most of them are pretty easy to find. The fourth Orichalcum Plus will be awarded to us for finding 80 out of the 90 lucky emblems in the game, so this is going to be very late game also, as there's only 90, this is 10 off the total. If you've been doing 100% of the collectibles throughout all of the worlds, you should obtain this at the beginning of the Caribbean world. The fifth one is very, very easy, but unfortunately it can be kind of tedious if you're sort of an unlucky person. For this, we need to send off the postcards in the mailbox near the Moogle shop in Twilight Town. The way to obtain postcards, they're rewards for buying stuff from any of the Moogle shops. So when we buy a certain amount of stuff from the Moogle shops, when we exit the shop, they will give us a postcard as a reward. Then if we send this postcard off, we get a chance at a random reward. And one of those random rare rewards is going to be the Orichalcum Plus we're looking for. A neat trick to not waste too much of your money at the Moogle shops, what you want to do is simply buy a lot of stuff to stack up maybe 5 to 10 postcards, and then make a separate save file. Once we've saved the game, we can go and send off all of our postcards we've collected, see if we get the Orichalcum Plus. If we're unlucky and we don't get it, simply reload the save data, send them all off again, and then just repeat this process until we finally get the Orichalcum Plus. For the 6th one, we need to collect all 10 of the hidden treasures in the Frozen Slider minigame, which is located obviously in Arendelle. We want to go to the Mountain Ridge save point, this is where the Ice Palace is, and simply talk to the Queen, and she will give us the option if we want to start this minigame. You don't need to, and in fact it is impossible to collect all 10 of them on one slide down, but it's important to note that after you collect one, don't simply click restart, you must actually finish the minigame until the end for it to count the treasure. So if you do collect some treasures, make sure you finish that run, then start again, and then do it again and again. And when you collect all 10 of the treasures, we'll also get the 6th Orichalcum Plus. Now for the 7th and final, and definitely the most difficult to obtain Orichalcum Plus in the game, is going to be for defeating the Omega machine with the Gummy Ship. This is going to be one of the late game optional bosses we can face, and depending on how upgraded your Gummy Ship is, this fight can take a very, very long time. We do have a separate video on the channel explaining how to face Omega Machine, but it's pretty straightforward. So a quick summary would be, in the Eclipse Galaxy, which is the 3rd and final one, we want to defeat all 4 of the optional mini-bosses around each side of this central structure. Once we defeat all 4 optional bosses, we want to go to the underside of the structure where a 5th mini-boss will spawn in. Once we defeat that boss, we can go to the top of the structure where Omega Machine will be waiting for us. So we initiate the fight with him, and once we defeat him, we'll be given the final Orichalcum Plus in the game, which we need for the Ultima weapon. So I hope you did find this video helpful, guys. If you did, don't forget that thumbs up button, subscribe for more content coming very soon, and we'll see you next time.